T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hey, welcome to Wolf Talk Podcast. I'm here with AA Kid. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. So, tell us how you got started.
I actually play in a bunch of bands as it is. I've been doing music for the last 18 years or so. I mean, I still play in the rock world and all that. I've toured quite a bit throughout my years. I've toured with, big bands like Saliva, Puddle of Mud, kind of the new metal crowd.
Damn.
Yeah, I've done a bunch of shit. I actually just got off a tour not that long ago. I think it was just like 5 days ago. I just got off a tour working with a band called Plush as their drum tech.
Okay.
I do a bunch of shit. Playing bass is my main thing, but I ended up starting doing this. Mainly it was to kind of get out a different side of me because a lot of the rock world is not that you can't get out what you're trying to get out, but it's very verse, chorus. So you can't get out as much as you do in rap. So I decided to start doing rap because of that. And mainly just to kind of go over some topics that, I kind of struggled with growing up. And even, to this day, I still kind of struggle with. So it was a way to kind of actually get out a story in a song as opposed to like, okay, you got like, basically 12 lines in this whole song. And that's the entirety of the song. I mean, as much as I love rock and metal, it's definitely a different, world in the world of rap. So that's why I ended up starting doing, the rap thing. And I actually ended up getting the name AA Kid. I was driving around with my best friend a few years back, and this is before I even started this up. And we were driving by an old bowling alley in our town. And, I was telling him about a story when my mom used to be in AA, when I was growing up. And there was a bunch of kids there that would always, go with their parents, like me and my brother and a bunch of other kids. And they'd have cool things. Like we'd go bowling. We'd do a bunch of shit. And, again, we were driving by the old bowling alley. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's where all the AA kids used to hang out. And so that's where I ended up getting the name from.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And to back to what you were saying, you're absolutely correct. I like all genres, but you're absolutely correct. Nowadays, it's more country and rap that's a big hit in the United States. It's not really, rock anymore. I mean, you get an occasional rock band, but it's mostly just country and rap.
Right. And I mean, still the bands I work with, like you said, they still have a following. I mean, but they've also been around for, 20 years to where they've had that following when, it was the epitome of what people call dad rock nowadays. Because what was that like? It was last year actually. I ended up touring with Disturbed and Falling in Reverse.
Oh, I love Disturbed. Disturbed is amazing. Actually, everybody that you talked about, I love all their music. Like they're all in my library. Nobody wants to check out my. Nobody wants to check out my YouTube library. Yeah, nobody wants to check out my YouTube library. It's like probably in the 7,000s, 8,000s.
I know, that's like my Spotify playlist. It's ridiculous how many songs I have with all the different genres. It's like, I apologize for anything you hear that you may not like, because it's going to be weird.
I literally, I could probably do a trip from the East Coast to the West Coast like 9 times and not hit it won't repeat. That's how many songs that I've had.
That's funny. I'm trying to think. I think just on my rap playlist alone, it's like 17 hours just of rap. And that was, that's, I mean, with the rock stuff, it's like I have, probably just as much rocks. It's like you said, I could go from California to New York and back and probably not even listen to the same song once.
Oh yeah, I have obviously I'm in the record business, so I mean I got country, I got rap, I got rock, I got alternative, I've got everything. So yeah, I mean if you look at my list, like I'm telling you, I mean you could go from the East Coast probably like 20 times before that repeat hits.
That's fucking great. Well, see, then you have that in common then, because I have, like you said, I have every kind of which genre you can want. It's just a matter of the mood I'm in.
Well, yeah, pretty much. if I have an upgraded car, like a new car, and I can actually have the Bluetooth ready, dude, like I'm set. But the car that I have is an older car, so I mean I can't really do that.
You know what you should do is just, this is what I do, because I have an old beater truck that, it still has cassette tapes. It doesn't even have a CD player. So what I do is I got a big ass on speaker and I just throw it in my back seat.
Oh, okay.
Actually, it works rather good. It's like 600 watts too. So I mean, that thing, if you want to crank it, it's fucking crazy how loud it'll get in your car.
So how did you okay, well we got your name, but how did you actually get interested into music?
How I got interested into music, it was actually funny enough out of spite, like to become a musician. I've always listened to a bunch of, different kinds of music growing up. My mom was, into rap. My dad was into like thrash metal. So, I mean, it was kind of like the best of both worlds when it came to the genres. But to actually get interested into music, it was funny because my stepmom I have 4 brothers, 2 from my dad, 2 from my mom. And my stepmom, with my middle brother from them, she had said something to the effect of, my brother was playing guitar and he was like 6 years old. I'm like 6 years older than him. So I was like 12 at the time. And, she was like, oh, well, we grew up in an athletic family. So, I mean, we all played sports. I played football, baseball, whatever. But I was really good at football. And she had said something to the effect of, well, you'll be the athlete and your brother's going to be the musician. And in my big brother brain, I said, fuck that. My little brother is not going to be better at me than anything. So I ended up picking up bass, and he was in guitar lessons. I never took a lesson in my life. And so, I just would basically learn out of spite. Honestly, that's kind of where the interest sparked. Little brother's not going to be better at me than anything. So that's where that kind of came in. And I joined my first band when I was, I think 12. It was like right after I started playing bass. And, again, I'm still in other bands aside all this, but, I ended up going from band to band to band, ended up becoming a guitar tech, a stage manager, a drum tech, and then, playing in bands still with, playing bass and doing vocals. And then, obviously the rap thing, it was kind of, like I said, just more the wanting to get out something different that was, that wasn't so confined into the world of rock, and kind of to throw everybody off. And a big reason for that was I actually got into Suicide Boys early on in their career. I mean, I'm not saying I was like one of the first by any means, but, probably within like 2 years of them starting to take off, like in I want to say it was like 2016, 17, I started getting into them, and I really took an interest in them, aside all like the old school rap influence that I had, like ICP, Brother Lynch Hung, all those dudes. So it was kind of like I really kind of drew to them because they have that sort of rock influence. And it was like, all right, cool. If there is a rap artist that can take the influence from the rock world as a vice versa, like Limp Bizkit taking rap into the rock world, I want to try to get that more involved into my own personal repertoire.
Yeah, Limp Bizkit had like a rock rap feeling to me.
Yeah. They were actually the reason why, it kind of blew up. I mean, I know everyone kind of says, with Linkin Park that they were, the reason why, but it's like Limp Bizkit ultimately had that big push into why Linkin Park was able to take off, because, Limp Bizkit was like 97, I think. And it's like, Linkin Park came out the early 2000s. So it's like Limp Bizkit blew it up to what it was. And then Linkin Park just took it to that next level of popularity wise.
Linkin Park is dope, though.
Yeah, I do like Linkin Park. Not dogging on him, but it's like, yeah, Limp Bizkit was like, one. I mean, I shouldn't even say that. Like Beastie Boys kind of was that first, band to kind of do that, but then it was like, Limp Bizkit kind of popularized it, I should say.
Well, Beastie Boys actually came out when I was a kid, and they're actually my first album that I bought for rap.
Oh, no shit. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love Beastie Boys. Beastie Boys, Michael Jackson. Those two were my two top faves.
It's funny you mentioned Michael Jackson because that little brother I was talking about who played guitar, the reason why I started playing, he's actually one hell of a Michael Jackson impersonator.
Oh, really?
He taught himself how to like dance and whatever. And he actually, in his high school years, he won all 4 years of his high school talent show doing Michael Jackson dances.
Dude, I love Michael Jackson. Jackson's cool. I mean, yeah, he had his issues, but at the end of the day, man, his music was dope. I love his music.
Yeah, I mean, Michael had that like, that funk to him while, bringing that pop to him. That was that good funk to him. I loved it.
I know around here in Ohio, we have dance things where we do like close to Halloween. That people actually come and they get like Halloween, get makeup and stuff, and they actually go and do the dance for Michael Jackson Thriller.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they actually walk down the street and there's like a group of them. There's like 500 people, and they all around Ohio, man. There's like 2 or 3 places around Ohio they do that. Yeah, it's cool as fuck.
What part of Ohio? Just so if I'm ever on tour.
I think Akron's one of them. I'm not sure 100%, but if I figure out where it's at for sure, I'll let you know.
Yeah, please, because I mean, I'm always on tour, so it's like if I'm on tour around that time and I just so happen to be in Ohio, I would love to see that. That'd be dope.
Yeah, there's like they all walk down the street, and then newscasters are out there doing it, and they're recording the shit. Dude, it's so cool. I love it.
That's badass.
I love it. And then all these people are dressed up as zombie people, and they're just, it's so cool.
Just having a ball with that's badass though. I would love to see that sometime.
Yeah, it's cool. I actually got to see it last year, and it was cool.
Well, I mean, and hell, not even on tour because my fiance. I mean, we live in Colorado, but she's from Indiana, so we visit there quite a bit. So it's like if I'm ever in that area, I'll pop over to Ohio.
Yeah. I was pretty close, so I mean, I think it's like a 6-hour drive.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
And I actually had an uncle in Wabash, Indiana.
Okay.
You know where that's at?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great uncle. I visited him when I was a kid. But then he passed away. But yeah, it was cool. Like, I mean, you get to Indiana, there's like nothing there. It's like a whole bunch of fields.
Oh, I know. Believe me, my fiance hates how much I rag on the state compared to Colorado. It's not that the people, it's the matter of there is nothing to do in Indiana. Nothing.
No. There's a lot of states that especially Kansas. Kansas is really good with that too, because there's nothing
Kansas,
there either.
Nebraska, all that weird little corn area is just horrible with that.
Like I actually had a friend that was raised in Kansas. She was born in Kansas, and she told me, Fran, she goes, "You're on a plane and you see like a whole bunch of shit, and then you all see nothing but brown, and it's just dead." And she said, "That's Kansas." I was like, "Okay."
Well, and you wonder why, like, I mean, even just the Midwest in general, like, Kansas, Nebraska, and then going into the Midwest, you wonder why, a lot of people like going to shows and shit. It's because there's nothing to do, man. Yeah. Like, it's all just, farmland for the most part, unless you get to a major city. But it's like a lot of, and then you get to those, horrible winters you guys have. It's like, I had an ex who lived in Indiana as well. And she went to Notre Dame, and she was saying that it was like -40 in the winter. I'm like, fuck that, man.
That was like 2 years ago. I think that was like 2 years ago. That was that bad, right? I think. I
mean, I dated her years and years ago, but like, yeah, this was like, want to say like 2015, 16 when I was dating her.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's right before I left. Yeah, it was bad. Like in Ohio, absolutely.
Oh. You wonder why like the Midwest has such a good music scene. It's because there's nothing to do other than music or drugs, really. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's music and drugs. I mean, and it's kind of the same with like my hometown.
But you know what's funny is Ohio is very famous for their music scene.
Right.
Like I don't in the summertime, it's nothing but music here.
Oh, I know.
Like place after place after place is nothing but music. And there's plenty of places around here that you could actually get shows at. Like I'm like 5 minutes right now from a big venue. It's called Blossom Center. It's in Cuyahoga Falls.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you ever heard of it. But yeah. Also you have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is up in Cleveland.
Yeah. And then you have I mean, well, and like you said, like with the music, it's like, you have like bands like Mushroom Head, you have, Chimera, all those dudes who are out of Cleveland. Oh, and, yeah. Festival, you guys have
Bone Thugs.
Bone Thugs, yeah. And I mean, even, music festivals, you guys have Sonic Temple, you have the Gathering of the Juggalos, you have all that cool shit.
Oh, absolutely. Like, we actually are a good place to have music. Being in Ohio. So, I mean, it's definitely, I mean, there's so many venues around here that if I tell them that I want to bring in somebody, they'll be like, okay, let's go.
Right.
That's how they work. So, I mean, and like I said, Ohio is basically off of music scene. It is.
Well, actually, last year with my band, I had played the Gathering of the Juggalos, and my God, was that an experience.
I bet it was.
That was one of the coolest things I've ever done. And like I said, I like ICP, but I was never one of the Juggalos by any means. But it's like their music's good. Never had the desire to go to a gathering. But after going to last year's, I'm like, I would go again. Absolutely, 100%. I'd go again.
Oh, I bet it was fun. Because I know their music, and I'm sure they're fun to be with.
Oh, well, yeah. So I'll say this too with ICP, there's a bunch of cool artists, whatever, but when ICP came on, they did their Old School Halls of Horror set. And, I was like in the middle of the crowd, and I mean, it was, people like were just smushed together. I shit you not. The second the curtain dropped, I moved up like 10 rows and I never moved my feet. Like I just got picked up and pushed forward. It was like the whole Spartan thing where you just kind of get sucked in the funnel. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh my gosh.
By the end of it, I kid you not, I was fifth row and I never planned to go that far. It was just like, I was just there to enjoy it. I went from middle of the crowd to fifth row and there was no choice in the matter. You just went where the crowd took you.
That's funny. But that's cool as fuck. I mean, I love ICP. ICP is cool.
Yeah. No, I dig on their music for sure. Like they have some, like, that's kind of why, that's why I did mention them and Brother Lynch, because Brother Lynch being like, the godfather of horrorcore. Without him, you don't really have the acceptability of horrorcore the way it became, even with like Eminem's, dark shit. But even ICP, it's like, ICP kind of came after him. And it's like, I really got into the horrorcore genre just because, it's dark, it's creepy. You could really say whatever the fuck you want and people are going to just eat it up. I love it.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a new genre that's actually coming into place lately. The dark and creepy music. I know quite a few artists that do that now. Yeah.
Well, and for me, it does help because, again, I've always liked the dark and creepy. I mean, even with rock, I like the darker imagery, but my last name is Bundy. So, everyone, oh, you related to Ted? It's like, yes and no, but, because he's adopted in the Bundy family, but it's like having the last name of Bundy, it's always like, yeah, you always were kind of automatically drawn to the serial killers. And
well, that's not where I was going to go with it. I was going to say Al Bundy.
Oh yeah, well it's funny. I can find it. I'll show you this. This is cool. Let me see. One second. I got this right here. Let's check this out. This is in my closet. I got Al Bundy's jersey, man. Paul Kai.
That's funny.
So yeah.
How did you?
What's that?
So how did you get that?
I actually found it. I want to say at the mall.
That's fucking cool as fuck because
that
was on the show, the Bundys.
Yeah. Yep. Married with Children.
Yeah, Married with Children. That's funny.
Yep. I love that show, and it's fucking funny too because
I watched it growing up. I didn't even miss an episode.
I love that show. What's funny too, the dog's name is Buck, and two of my brothers from my stepdad, his last name is Buck. So there's Buck Bundy, and then I have brothers who are Buck, and I'm Bundy.
Well, there you go.
It's great.
So I picked the right Bundy.
Yes, you did. You did.
Oh my gosh, I love that show. Those guys cracked me up.
Oh, I know. Al was my hero when it came to that shit. It's like, oh my god, you just so amazing.
Just the fact of how he sat on that couch and put his hand down his pants.
Yep. Well, and like the kind of humor he has with the whole like, did you miss me, honey? With every bullet so far. Like, fucking loved Al, man.
So anyway, back to you.
Yeah.
So when obviously you're in all genres. You just started your rap.
Mm-hmm.
You're actually working with Oreo.
Yep.
So how's that going?
That's going really good, actually. It's great because he's my neighbor. He lives right across the street from me, so we can always collab really at any time. We're releasing a new song called Wrath here in 2 weeks on August 15th. And we're also working on some new stuff. I know he's got a song that not only do I feature on, but I'm producing and all that, called Cup of Poison. I wrote the beat and all that. I basically am doing all the mixing, the mastering. I'm kind of all around with everything. What's great about me and him is that I'm more behind the scenes because it's not that I'm not good with talking to people, but it's not my forte. I'm just not much of a go out and, I'm more of the musical portion of the deal. So It's like, it's nice where he can deal with a lot of the, talking to people and getting things on playlists and stuff like that. And, setting up interviews, like, he set me and you up and all that good stuff. And, I'm more behind the scenes with like, writing the beats and producing it and mixing and mastering and doing all that stuff. So, and like I said, we're releasing that new song called Wrath in a couple weeks. Cup of Poison. We were actually just together last night and we were talking about releasing Cup of Poison on September 5th. So that actually, I just got to lay down my verse, which I already wrote it out. I just need to do it. His verses, I already mixed it, mastered it. Well, not mastered, but like mixed it down, did all the, mixing for the beat. So I just got to put my part to it. And that'll start, with the promo, shortly after Wrath releases. And, we kind of came to the agreement of like, basically every couple weeks. And I mean, more so it was me wanting to release a song every month, but basically every couple weeks go back and forth of I'll release a song, you release a song, I'll release a song, you release a song. So that way it doesn't cross over too much where it's like, oh, well, he just released a song, like that one's old now. But at the same time, keeping it fresh with the idea that, you're going to expect new music on a regular basis, which,
That's
has been working out really well because, the first song we did, 2805, it's like at 1,800 listens on Spotify. And the newest one we had put out called Separate Ways, we released like 3 weeks ago and it's already cracked the 2K mark. So, it seems like it's starting to it's starting to resonate with people like, hey, you can expect new stuff. And it's not just, oh, well, you guys released the song and that was it.
Well, actually, I wanted to play Separate Ways.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. By all means, go for it.
just to get your stuff out there.
Absolutely. I am never opposed to playing some of the stuff.
All right, so here we go.
Smoke all the time, helps me relax my mind, free it, figure shit out, seeing what I can find. You know what I mean? I mean it every time I rhyme.
With a 20 gauge loader, can't turn the page. Here with every didn't know but burned your rage. Get my face shows on the man on stage. Feel a deep release, but can't escape my cage. Can't contain the beast within the leash. For my lust of feast, wasted on luxuries. I think free, thankfully, thanks to me, tastefully. Don't wait for me, gratefully. I make my own pace, came to make peace with the way peace tastes. Took off my mask just to show my bare face. Used to be daft and hold on my waist. Let go the past just to change first place. Cause listen, half it's a cold case. Can't help but the life. I got my shoes laced. Don't step in my path, I might become fate. Predict I get fat, forget what means hate. And do I mean that like grind and ice skate? The race that I do could be any state. The ditch made for me, green beans and great steak. With the things that I say, refuse to be late. My queen or the king, forever my mate. It's a fling with a ring, but why I hesitate? With the skill that I bring, I'm one step away. As I sit, do my thing, I won't step away.
So many areas of shade of gray. Turns the pitch black when it fade away. No need to step back or stay away. Simple chit chat helps through the day. From petty torment driving you insane. It feels so good, let go of that pain.
How is that I find in the darkest parts of the night is when I think of you the most. Only in the silence of the world I realize all I have left is your bloody ghost. Now I have left to the drugs to cope. My life hanging to the balance of a noose and rope. Pages stay blank as the ink runs dry. Only when I'm dead am I feeling so sad. Never thought I'd want the world, your hand in mine. Dead inside, running to a future that was never there. Time was sweet, nothing like I really care. It was so dumb to think you had love to spare. Silence spoke louder than you ever dared. You're the moon to my sun, step on my chest, collapsed along. That song so sad it can never be sung. Suicidal thoughts, I don't need a gun as I'm falling back in my old habits always. Back in the shadows of yesterday. I think you and I both know this is where we go our separate ways. We said forever and all we had was time. We said forever but this is goodbye. We said forever, now I can't look back. But just know you and I will always be my favorite lie.
Okay, I'm gonna say that sounds like a kind of new genre. It's like a dark, like a rock, like dark rock, maybe a little hint of rap.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, that's kind of where I was trying to, like, with the whole Suicide Boys thing, you know, because one of them used to play in punk rock bands and, you know, came into the rap world. And that's where I wanted to start introducing the whole my rock influences into that. And I will say that with my rapping, like I had 2805, I had my verse done when I had met Oreo. And we I'd always wanted to release it, always wanted to do something with it, but I never got the balls to do it. I mean, just plain and simple. I just never had the balls to do it until I met him, because I didn't know what to do for a second verse. And finally, you know, he laid down a second verse for me. And I will give him a lot of credit on the sense of having helping me develop my rap flow and all that, because, you know, as you know, you'll see as it comes through newer songs that, you know, I have gotten a lot better with, you know, my flow. Not saying I don't like what I've already done, but I definitely, as we've progressed already, I'm like, yeah, I've come a long way in a short span. And, you know, still trying to introduce the rock influences with that, which with Wrath, you will definitely hear that that rock influence, because it's definitely, I mean, it's horrorcore, but it's got that real dark, you know, like screamy type vocals to it. So I've been trying to, you know, keep that influence in there without straying too much away from the rap as well.
Right. Well, that's cool. It's like you're making your own genre, which is kind of cool.
Well, I appreciate that. No, it means a lot, because, you know, it's like, it's not that I'm trying to follow a formula of any certain artist, but it's like I know where my influences come from in the sense of both rock and rap, and it's like trying to combine those two. It's awesome to hear that, you know, it's starting to, you know, it's making its own wave without sounding too much like somebody else.
Right. Yeah, you're definitely taking a path of your own. pretty
well,
much.
thank you. I appreciate that a lot.
I mean, there's some out there that's similar, but you've got a lot of rock in that with your singing.
Yeah.
So it's like,
well, no, I appreciate that, and I mean, it's cool to hear too, because I mean, I like with my other bands, that I played in, and even though when I play in now, I've always done nothing but screaming. It's because I've never really cared for my own voice when it came to singing. So I always had, we found singers, or I joined bands with singers already. So I was always kind of in the background with all of that. But, this obviously pushes me to the forefront vocally. And like, it's cool to hear that, people are digging on it, like you and, a bunch of other people have hit me up saying, you have a really cool sounding voice. And it's like, well, cool. I hate my fucking voice, but that's awesome that everybody else is liking it.
No, it does. It sounds really good. Like I just I'm not a big fan of the screamers.
Yeah.
I mean, I still promote them, but I'm not a fan of the screamers. I want to hear what I want to hear what they say, not just screaming,
right?
Like where it's like all garbled and I can't hear what they're saying.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, like I said, some of the songs, I'm like Wrath, it's more not screamy, but I actually, when we were recording it, I ended up getting my voice to a really low octave. That was like, it's almost, like that Mongolian throat singing. Like, you ever heard the band, not the old school band Who, but the new band, The Who, that Mongolian band?
Yeah.
It's almost kind of like that. It's weird how it was because I was, rehearsing for a show with my band, and I was doing a bunch of screaming the night before, and we were trying to record the vocals, and I wanted to kind of go in the creepier direction, and I ended up getting my voice to kind of do that weird throat singing, and it was really cool. So
well, that's cool. So do you have any merch?
No, I'm actually working on that. There's something I wanted to do merch wise with a shirt or even a hat, because I think it would be really cool. So I'm on a lot of, like medications for anxiety, depression, sleep. I have troubles with that. So I one day, I have 3 different bottles of medication, and one's for depression, one's for anxiety, one's for sleep. Well, to make it easy on me, like all I did was write, on anxiety, I wrote A, on, depression, I wrote D, on, sleep, I wrote S. And one day I put them on my microwave, and I wasn't even really thinking about it, but it spelled out sad. And I was like, that's cool. Cause it's literally just sleep, anxiety, depression. And my fiance came home. She's like, why the fuck do your medication bottles say sad? I'm like, sleep, anxiety, depression. So I want to kind of do that to where it's like, even if it's not my personal pill bottles, like, just as long as it's obvious that, it's got the label on it, I may obviously mark out my, my legal name, whatever, but, have that as a medication thing where it's like, it spells out sad, and then have AA kit on there, both on a t-shirt and some hats. Well,
that's cool.
Yeah.
So you and Oreo need to come to Ohio at some point.
Yeah, no, what's funny you say that. I mean, we definitely need to, like, as the art doing stuff, but on the 14th I'm flying into Cleveland, actually.
The August?
Yeah.
This month?
Yeah.
For what are you flying in here for?
I'm doing another tour with that band Plush. I'm their stage manager, drum tech, security. I mean, I kind of do a little bit of everything for them, but I'm flying in for a tour. They're playing do you know the Machine Shop in Flint?
Okay.
Yeah, they're playing the Machine Shop, so I'm flying out that's where the tour is starting. So I'm flying into Cleveland the evening of the 14th, actually. And I think on that tour, they're actually playing in Cleveland, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, even if you can make the show, if you want to, head out, I can probably end up guest listing you. I don't see, unless the guest list.
Well, I could, but I'm working that night. That's actually Thursday.
No, it's not. That's not the day I could. Oh shit. Give me 1 sec. Let me look. I can tell you what day Cleveland is. Oh shit. Wrong one. Did you get that?
What'd you say?
Oh, sorry. I said they're playing Cleveland or Harrison. Sorry, it was Harrison on the 22nd.
On the 22nd?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in the middle of the week.
Ah, shit. I was like, to me, it doesn't really matter. I kind of make my own schedule even when I'm at home. So
yeah, I work Sunday night through Thursday night.
Gotcha. I was gonna say, yeah. If you were free, I could probably, like I said, probably guest list you just because, I mean, unless guest lists are packed, and normally I can squeeze in like one or two. So if I'm ever in the area, though, I'll let you know. And I mean, I could probably guest list you and have you come hang out and do all that fun shit.
But you said you're coming in the 14th?
Yes.
I have an event that I can actually talk to you about after the show.
Okay.
That you could actually come visit and see. So
that'd be dope.
So that's a thing. So
okay. Yeah, for sure.
So what are your like biggest plans as far as what you got going on for the rest of the year?
So rest of the year, you know, mainly just trying to get out some more songs. Both with Oreo and like release a song or two solo. Me and him have talked about that, you know, do a lot of songs together, but also, you know, him release a song that I'll produce and whatnot, that solo of his and vice versa, that I'll, you know, end up releasing on my own and self-producing. Beside that, once we get enough songs, even as a collective, we want to start doing some shows around here. I have a couple tours booked for, you know, stage managing and all that are August and September. I know I will be possibly in Brazil with my other band in October. That's kind of still on the table. We're seeing what's going to happen with that. And aside that, like I said, mainly with this stuff, though, it's, you know, finishing out some more songs so that way we can do a full set. And do some stuff, you know, here locally within our hometown, and also in Springs and Denver, and start, you know, getting, you know, the name more so out there live wise, just so that way it's not just a studio project, because I never intended this to be just a studio project. It's just kind of got to have a set to play live. So
right.
Which, you know, we have, like I said, after Wrath, it's 3 songs. 4 will be Cup of Poison. And then I have another one called Trauma Response, which I just got to re-record my vocals on it because I didn't really like them, but Oreo's already put down his parts to it. And then we have another song that's kind of on the back burner. And the only reason it's on the back burner is one of my buddies here in our hometown. I've known him since fucking middle school. I mean, we go way, way back. He's one of my brother's best friends. And when I first started doing rap, he was actually the one I started doing it with back in, I want to say it was around 2017. Before, you know, I hadn't released anything. It was just still trying to, you know, build all that. And I actually have a bunch of songs that I have never released. But he's on the song as well with Oreo and me. And he doesn't have his Spotify set up yet. So once he gets his Spotify set up, whatever, that's when we're going to release a song with him and Oreo. It's called She's Not There. And it's same thing. You know, I wrote the beat, did all that good stuff, produced it, and it's all done. It's 100% done, other than me mastering it, which doesn't take me very long to do. But it's all mixed down. It's all edited correctly. You know, everything sounds great. It's just once he gets his Spotify set up, that's when we'll release She's Not There. And so, I mean, after that, it's like a good, you know, 6 songs spanning probably about, you know, a 15-minute set, which, you know, for the rap world, that's about what you want, you know, for an opener set, or even, you know, like a mid slot, you know, right. Headline usually take up the majority of that, but which is fine. It's like cool. Just start getting things processed with, you know, the name getting out there, doing all that stuff. And, you know, and even with like the album art, me and Oreo make all the album art. Like with all the songs that we've released so far, they're actually just pictures that I had taken mainly on tour and had my friend edit them, you know, like the Separate Ways one. It's you know, it's actually a sign that was going to Detroit and Chicago that was taken. And obviously it was edited out to where it just says separate ways. And then, you know, have a little emblem in the middle instead of the interstate number. And 2805, it was actually, I already had the song planned out. And I think we had finished recording it. And I was walking down the street, middle of the night. And I think it was like Michigan or something. And I came across, you know, a house that had the mailbox with that 2805 on there. And I was like, that would be a cool ass album cover. So we used that. And
that's cool. Shit.
Yeah. And then Wrath, my fiance, ended up making it. It was no picture that I took or anything, but she ended up making that one. And I know there's one, I'm still trying to figure out what to use it for. It may be an album cover. But there's a picture I took when I was on tour with Disturbed. I got super trashed one night, and we had an RV, and I was sleeping on the top bunk of the RV, like in the front. And right. I got super trashed, and I like threw my head out the window and was like laying down, puking my guts out. Well, the next morning, I went outside, and there was like this pile of puke, and I was smoking a cigarette, and I flicked my cigarette in it. And I was like, you know what? That would be a badass fucking cover. So I took a picture of that. So a lot of the ones that are used are actually pictures that I took. Some of them aren't, obviously, like Cup of Poison, Oreo made, and my fiance made Wrath, but a lot of them are generally pictures of things I took, just so that way there's no issues with copyright or, you know, like, oh, we'll use my picture. It's like, no, that was my picture. So
that's awesome. All right. So thanks for joining the show. And hang around so that we can talk after this.
Absolutely.
But yeah, when you come to Ohio, let me know for sure. But thanks again for joining, and can't wait for the new stuff that you have up and coming because it sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna, you know, it's starting to pick up some momentum, which I'm excited for. I didn't expect it to do as well as it already has, and you know, it's cool to see how many people are already resonating with it in such a short time.
Yep, absolutely. I'm excited to hear it. Can't wait.
Hell yeah.
All right. So everybody make sure you go check out his stuff, and thanks again for joining. Welcome. Thank you for joining.